What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't be shy, hit that subscribe button. So today, since the semester is about to start again, spring is slowly making its way to us, I wanted to do a little bit of a video just on how I get ready for the semester, how I mentally prepare myself, how I physically prepare myself, just to give extra tips. I don't know, it was kind of just like on my mind, like, oh, I know, like, I've given my friends some tips that have helped them, so like, why don't I give my more friends some tips? That was really cheesy, I'm so sorry for that. Anyways, so I have 7 tips for you that will help you start your semester off right, get a good head start into the semester, and secure you an A or B semester. It will secure you an A or B semester. I've been doing this probably since my junior year of high school. It's something that I do, like during winter break, or something that I do in the summer just to prepare myself. Like, it's something that I've been doing, it's something that I have done, things that I've learned from my mom, things that I've kind of learned from other YouTubers or from other websites to help you get ready for the semester, different things like that. So yeah, let's dive in. Okay, so tip number 1, how to start your semester off right, getting as organized as you can. So my biggest thing in life, for everything, like everything that I do, is organized. If it's not organized, I go insane, which is bad. But organization helps me live the life that I want. So if that's organizing my closet just to make me feel like I have a clear mind space, I do that. If it's reorganizing my drawers, reorganizing my socks, reorganizing anything, it makes me feel like I'm like decluttering my mind. I have less things that I am kind of have anxiety about. Like, if I see a mess, or if I feel like there's a mess about to happen somewhere, I'm like, organize it now. It has to happen. So one of my biggest things is I get a planner for every single year. So this is my sophomore year planner, 2020 to 2021. I have not written my class schedule in it yet, however I will. So like whenever I start, I'll have all of my classes listed. Each of them will be color coded. And I have my trusty pens, a bunch of pens. I have more than this in my office, but a bunch of pens, a bunch of markers. I try to get ones that come with stickers. This one I kind of peeled them out. You can see there were stickers there. I have like 2 or 3 different sticker books. I do everything that I can to make it clean, organized, and cute. I was gonna say something, but it kind of sounds inappropriate. COC is what we'll call it. Clean, organized, and cute. So I do that, and I also have this whiteboard. My friend gave it to me before she left for the Navy, but it's just this giant whiteboard that I put all of my schedule on. I put my work schedule on it, my dance schedule on it, any birthdays, any anniversaries, any events that I have going on, and then I put tests on it. I don't put quizzes or assignments or anything like that. I keep that all for this. This is what I'm gonna be, constantly looking at for, like, oh, this is where I have my one assignment, this is where my other assignment is, da 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 da. But the whiteboard is where I looked, like, okay, am I forgetting anything? Like, so if there's a test coming up in a couple of weeks, I'll be like, oh, okay, I know I have that test. It's on my mind, it's on my calendar, the one that I can see, the one I don't have to like open up to look at. That helps me because I'm very much like, I have to see it in front of my face. So if I open my book, like, yeah, I'll like look through things, some things I'll like, I don't really want to look at that now, but the whiteboard makes me confront it. It's smart. It's a smart tactic, I swear, because you have to, like, if it's on the whiteboard, you just want to be able to cross it off the whiteboard, right? So whiteboard is super helpful. I love my whiteboard. She's a blessing to my life. Another thing that I do is I have this app called Chipper. It's a student helping app. It has a bunch of resources within it for bio majors, history majors. It, like, depending on your major, it might be in there. You could get help with tutors. You can set aside studying hours. You can obviously put in your class schedule. You can put in any important tests, any important quizzes, everything is color coded from the get-go on there. So I use that app for, like, whenever I'm out with friends, or I'm just like my dad's, or, you know, just anywhere. I just check it, like, oh, okay, I have this class tomorrow, or I have this test next week. Like, I can just look at it from there. It's a nice, clean and organized and cute little layout digitally that I'll always have with me. If I don't have my planner with me, or obviously if I'm not around my whiteboard, I can just look and check and see there. That app has literally saved my life. You also can collect, like, earnings. So every single time that you complete a task, like a class or a quiz or a test, it gives you, like, so and so amount of dollars. You can't get the money, but it shows you, like, this is your lifetime earnings. This is how much time and effort you're putting into your education, how much time and effort you're putting into your work, which is something that I think is really cool. I like it. I enjoy it. It's been one of those big apps that has, like, saved my life. I probably got it my second semester in college, and I've been using it ever since. Here I am into my fourth semester, still using it. My schedule's in there, ready to go, because it works out great. Okay, so being organized, not only with your school and everything, I think it's so important to clean your area, especially since there are a lot of people that are going to be staying home, myself included, for this semester. And I feel like it's really difficult to get work done, or it's really difficult to just sit down and, you know, study or, like, do a reading if there's a bunch of stuff surrounding me, if there's a bunch of mess around me. It just makes me feel like like, it literally puts so much pressure on my chest, because I need to just have it be out of the way, done, clean. So something that I did this literally entire week, I went ahead and cleaned out my workspace, which is where I'm going to be doing. Also, that's really important. If you are doing online school, please have a designated workspace. That is how you're going to get so much more work done, because you have a place to do it. It's not just on your bed or at your kitchen table. Like, give yourself a small space. It doesn't need to be big, just a small space to be able to do your work however you need to. But I cleaned my entire office. Like, I cleaned out my drawers, I cleaned out my shelves, I cleaned out my bookshelf. I'm, like, getting rid of books that I had from last semester, or keeping them and adding them to my collection. I'm just, like, plunging through everything, just getting it all out of the way. I gave a bunch of stuff over to Goodwill, because I was like, I don't use that anymore. It was something that I used last year. I'm not gonna use it this year. I do the same thing in my bedroom. I go through clothes, I go through just, like, makeup, or anything that I have in my drawers, or anything that I'm not using. I go through that. I even clean my bathroom, just getting that more organized, making sure that that is a good space that I can, you know, end my day in or start my day in. That's honestly where I do a lot of my self-care. Like, my bathroom and my bedroom, they're my two biggest places of sanctuary. So I'm making sure that I'm keeping them clean, I'm keeping them organized, and I'm making sure that it's gonna be, like, a nice, calm, and safe space for me after a day of classes or after a day of work. That's so important. I cannot stress that enough. Keeping your spaces clean, keeping it organized, keeping it in a way that allows for your mind to thrive in that space is important. It is vital, and it's going to be a big part of helping you jumpstart into the semester. Tip number 2, try to start a different routine before classes. So my biggest thing is, before classes, I mentally tell myself, okay, here's what my routine's gonna be. I'm gonna wake up every day at 10 a.m. If I can't wake up at 10 a.m., that's okay. I'm going to wake up at the latest 12 p.m. I do that for myself, because I don't want to be the person that, you know, just rolls over in bed and turns on my laptop and is like, yeah, I'm in class. Like, no, I want to be purposeful about what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna pass this class, I wanna make sure that I'm putting the effort into pass this class. So I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna get myself something to eat, have breakfast, maybe have a chat with my mom, set aside some time for her, get myself ready, you know, do my hair if I need to, wash my face, get dressed, get into something like comfier that's not pajamas, you know, just to make sure that I'm mentally and physically prepared for the day. That's my biggest thing is just being able to know that I'm mentally prepared for the day. I feel like if I'm just in my pajamas or if I haven't washed my face and I'm just like, I'm just gonna stay in bed all day, I'm not really gonna get anything done. And I, especially during the semester, I like to be productive with every day that I can, especially since they've condensed so much of it. Thank God they're end condensing it this semester, but even still, like, I have a lot of heavy reading courses that I'm gonna have to keep up with. So that's something big for me. Like, I don't like just lounging and reading. Like, I will fall asleep. I'm trying to make sure that I don't fall asleep. So by keeping myself in that upright position, or keeping myself in that, like, oh, let me eat a snack while I'm doing this, or let me do this and then like go clean for a second and then come back to it, just to make sure that I'm keeping my mind space, open, is so important. And if that doesn't work for you, then that's totally fine. I totally understand just wanting to roll over in bed and take the class. I just think that whenever I start my days with more purpose, whenever I start my days with, waking up and drinking water and then going to get something to eat and then washing my face and getting dressed and then talking to my mom for a little while she's working and before my classes start, like, that's important. That's a big part of my day, something that, I wouldn't take for granted. Yeah. It's something that just is important to me. It could be different for you. It could look different for you, but it's all about what's important to you. So the third thing for my Black girls, it is so important to me, for especially being at home for the semester, to have a low maintenance hairstyle. So within the next week or two, I'm planning on doing my own braids so that I can just have my hair be tucked away and all good for majority of this semester, which is going to be the first 2 to 3 months, because my semester ends in May. That saves me so much time in the morning. Like, I love my curls. I love her, but she has her rough time. She has her, even though I've cut it a little bit shorter because it was getting on my nerves, I still am just like, okay, I don't want to have to uncap my hair and do my hair. I don't want to have my bonnet on while I'm in class because it just makes me feel a little unprepared. Even though I have no shame about it, I do it. I like to be able to have my braids. Also, I will wear my bonnet with my braids anyways, but it's just the fact that I have a low maintenance hairstyle. I have something that I don't really need to take care of too much other than oiling it and, spraying it, making sure that it's not getting all caught up. That's really big. It's just something that helps me be a little bit more lazy with my time. I don't have to, have wash days into my schedule as often, or I don't need to I should set aside time so that I can deep condition through this and deep condition through and it just puts a weight off my shoulders. It takes it away. I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about my hair. I can just have simple braids and I'll be fine. I'll be done. Or I can have twists, or I can have faux locks, or just full whatever, anything. Any type of hairstyle that is low maintenance for you. You don't have to do a bunch with it. Do it. I totally recommend it, especially if you're staying home and especially if you're going to school, because it is a struggle to get up in the morning and do your hair when you are at school. Anyways, I don't have to worry about that this semester, but still, a low maintenance hairstyle. Good tip. Tip number 4, purge your closet and anything that you have. I kind of said this earlier, but I kind of want to touch back on it. So ever since organizing my room, I've kind of been moving all of my clothes and things around. And there's a time a few weeks ago where I just got so overwhelmed, and I was like, oh, I just have too many clothes here and too many clothes there and too many clothes here. And I'm just like, I don't need it. I don't need any. Get rid of it. So I just literally started tearing things out of my closet, started tearing things out of my drawers. I dumped it all into a basket and I gave it to Goodwill because I was like, I don't wear this. I don't need it. I have nothing to do with this anymore. It's done. We're good. That's so important. I did that in my other closet where I keep more of my formal dresses. Tore stuff out of there too. I was just, to be fair, I was kind of having a panic attack about it, but that didn't stop me from just tearing it all away and just getting it off of my chest. So it's like I said, it weighs down on my chest. Doing all of that, so important, even with shoes that you don't wear, or stuff that you usually wear in the winter that you haven't worn this winter. Definitely do that. Clear up some space for the summer, because things, whenever you do end up going out with your friends, or whenever you do end up going shopping, you're gonna put stuff away and then it'll be like, oh, I have to go do this for my class really quick, and then it just starts to pile up, you know? And I like to avoid that as much as I possibly can. So for 5, get into your growth, positivity, and work mindset. So important. I think that's something that I always tell myself whenever I'm preparing for a new semester is like, okay, we're gonna come at this with the same exact approach that we had last semester. We're gonna work hard, we're gonna aim for A's, we're gonna be communicative, we're going to set time aside to be able to do all of the assignments, we're going to make sure that we're on top of things to the best of our ability. And that's just, in general, I think something we should have, whether it is with school or with work or anything in life, really. It's important to get yourself into a mindset before going into a new time or a new semester or a new year, just like preparing yourself for the unexpected while being as prepared as you can be. Makes literally no sense, but to me it's like, okay, well, I have to somewhat prepare myself. Even if something comes at me unexpectedly, I'm prepared for the things I know I can be prepared for. You know, it's not like, oh, I was so unprepared for this assignment that I've known that I've had on my calendar for the last 3 weeks and now there's something else that's going on. Like, to be prepared for the thing that you knew was coming is preparing yourself for the unexpected. I don't know if that makes sense, but so yeah, that's a big thing. Just making sure that I'm getting myself into that mindset, that I'm also just making sure that I'm mentally thinking like I'm not gonna be hard, like super hard on myself this semester. I'm gonna push myself, obviously, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, you gotta see on that test, you're failing, you're doing so bad. You're, you know, preparing myself to positively speak in my life, in my own mind, in my own spirit, in my own soul. And also like letting things speak into me throughout the semester and choosing what I need to listen to in order to be productive, and choosing what I need to listen to in order to continually move forward and have progress that I want to see, and even progress that my professors want to see in their own class. And like, honestly, the ways of doing that is just training yourself into thinking it. Like, I'm not gonna say this to myself. I'm gonna say, okay, I have this, I'm gonna do this semester, I'm gonna get it done. You know, even if I slip up, even if there are moments where I feel really overwhelmed and I kind of just push myself a little bit too hard, it's okay for me to forgive myself even after making that little slip up. It's okay for me to tell myself, okay, we had a little moment and that was fine. We got our things done, but now we need to refocus, we need to recenter, we need to make sure that we're doing this in the healthiest and practical way possible. And that's literally training your mind into thinking that, training your mind into forgiving itself, training your mind into forgiving your body for whatever happens. Be open with forgiving yourself for the slip-ups so that you can progress to the build-up. Yeah, I don't, there's really no other way that I can explain that. It's literally just getting into that mindset. Not letting yourself have negative talk, having hate talk, like that's a no-no, especially for a semester. I know I used to really push myself hard in high school, and I would like, it would be to the point where I'd be like physically hurting myself trying to get things done because I was so frustrated that I wasn't loving myself enough. I wasn't forgiving myself enough for the little slip-ups. Like, I had teachers that were like, Leah, you're being really hard on yourself right now. I'm like, yeah, but I have to get all this done, I have to do this, I have to do that. And they're like, Leah, you need to chill. You have to let yourself breathe. I'm like, and I didn't really let that sit in until like my senior year, and it's sad, but I let it sit in. You let it soak. You have to let it soak in, because once you start forgiving yourself in your schoolwork, you start forgiving yourself in like the small things, and like, oh, I didn't drink all my water today, but it's okay, I want to do better tomorrow. Or I didn't eat that healthy yesterday, but it's okay, I'm gonna do better tomorrow. Like, just forgiving yourself and saying, we're going to keep doing better, we're going to keep getting better, we're not going to stay in this place. Number 6, I personally like to make as many plans with my friends as possible. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be like, hey, you want to make plans? You want to do this? You want to do that? Because once the semester starts, I'm peacing out. Especially since I have 17 credits this semester, technically 19 credits, but I'm auditing. So I know I'm gonna have a lot on my plate. I'm in a club, I have work, I have another company that I'm in, like, you know, I have a lot of things that I'm gonna be doing. Right now I'm not doing a lot. It's easier for me to make plans with people. It's easier for me to say, okay, we can do this on that day since I don't have really anything going on right now. And if I am making plans further into the semester, then I'm like, okay, I just need to let you know I have so and so and so. Making other people aware of your schedule whenever they want to hang out with you is very important. I feel like it's something that's vital to your productivity, because you're making them aware, like, yes, I want to hang out with you because I care about you and you're a part of my life, but also I need to make sure that I'm putting the time that I need to be into my education, because that is also important to me. That's something that, I want to build my career off of. So that's just making as many plans with them as you can, or if you're making plans into the semester, make sure it's at a time that doesn't interfere with your class schedule or interfere with your downtime or interfere with your study time. Making sure that you're planning around those things, and if it's not happening, then it's not happening. That's okay. It can happen at a later date. Definitely do not push to hang out with people and finish your assignment and make sure you have self-care, and don't do that. Making sure that you are separating your time in a practical way for you is what's most important. So setting aside time for studying, done. Setting aside time for self-care, done. Okay, whenever I want to set a time to study or to read, I usually do it right after that class or after I'm finished with all of my classes, because I'm still in that go mode. Then break, we're done for the day. I'm going into self-care mode. I'm gonna do this for the night. I'm gonna, I'll do a face mask, or I'll do an exfoliation, I'll shave, I'll do all these other things, and I'll have my aromatherapy machine going, I'll light some candles, have them some peaceful music, have them worship, and just read, or read the book for the class if it's a good book, or read the word, just getting into those things that refuel your spirit and refuel your soul. That's so important. And if hanging out with your friends is that, do that, but make sure that you're doing that wisely. And if it's not, do something else. Just make sure that you're setting aside that time for yourself. You are important. You are the one that is doing the work. You are the one that is going through this semester. You are important to consider, as well as your friends and your family. My last one, and I was kind of getting into it accidentally, so we'll call the last one 6/7. But again, just setting aside that time for yourself. It's so important. I think that, especially with quarantine, I got into a lot of self-care habits that I'm really proud of myself for. And even on the days whenever that doesn't happen, I make sure that it happens on another day, or I take a longer amount of time to do it. But something that I have decided to do is every Wednesday night and every Sunday night are going to be my days, not my days, but my nights of peace, my nights of rest, my nights of just getting myself together for the week, or for the rest of the week into the weekend. And that's something that I have not compromised. Every Wednesday night after I get home from my rehearsal, shower, face mask, done. Or if I don't get the chance to do that, or I don't feel like doing that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a popsicle tonight because I didn't have a popsicle the other night, and I'll have a popsicle because I love my popsicles. And same thing for Sunday. Sundays is usually whenever I get it done, or I'll lengthen it out because I missed Wednesday. But I'll okay, around 5 or 6 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I have a lot of time today. No one's coming over, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna get in the shower, gonna exfoliate, gonna shave, put on my extra oils, put on my lotions, put on my good smelling stuff. Let's scrub my face. Let's do a face mask. Let's just relax for a second. Let's just have this minute to breathe. So important, so great. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's great, it's amazing. Do it for yourself. So important, especially during the semester, because you can get very easily overwhelmed, especially depending on how much you push yourself during the semester, and it can be so rough, it can be so annoying and so tiring, and not taking that time and not setting that time aside for yourself can be really damaging in the end. And if you take anything from this video, I hope that you take the setting aside time for yourself. It's so important, it's so crucial. It's crucial to who you are as a person, it's crucial to who you are becoming as a person, and it's crucial to your growth in school, in life, in family, and friends. You are important. You are vital. You need to be taken care of. And if it's you taking care of you, that is okay. But take care of you. So yeah, that is all that I have for you guys. I know that was really kind of long. I was trying to speed things up as much as I could, but I had a lot that I kind of wanted to get out to you, just because there are tips that have helped me a lot. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment what you plan to do, or if you have any other questions. And don't forget to turn on the push notification button. I don't think I'm pointing in the right place, I just kind of point. But turn on that post notification button so you get notified every single time that I post a new video. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. We're cool here. We like to have fun. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a lovely rest of your week and a very, very, very restful Sunday. And I look forward to speaking to you soon.